Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a very special edition of the show. As you can see, we've got here with me on the Zoom line from Dream Theater, keyboardist extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Rudess. Jordan, good morning. We're bright and early here this morning.
There you go. And for me, it's afternoon because I'm in Prague.
Ah, okay. So you're in the middle of your day already. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm well in with my day getting started because we have a show tonight, and kind of in that the rock and roll mode where you wake up late and you kind of get going late. And so, yeah, this is the equivalent of my 8 in the morning right now, but it's actually 2.
There you go.
So,
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. So Jordan's here today because he's got some pretty exciting things to talk about. So this summer, for those of you here in the States, he is set to embark on a 2-month tour, which I guess you're calling an evening with Jordan Rudess, which will kind of take you from the state of Washington all the way down to Florida through June, July, and August. And as I understand, this will be part performance, part discussion type of a show. Can you talk a little bit about, what fans can expect and kind of how this all came about?
for sure. So, I've been doing solo shows, for forever, really, but over the last few years, really focusing on them a lot when I'm not on the road with Dream Theater and I have the opportunity to do them. And I developed a show that we just called Bach to Rock that basically took people through my musical journey, literally starting with Bach and starting with, being a kid, going to Juilliard at a very young age and somehow going from the classical world and ending up in Dream Theater many years later. So, through that kind of mechanism of that show, I told that story, and it made me feel like, this is a really great way to connect with people. I mean, the music part is obviously what I do, and that's wonderful, but, being able to communicate with them verbally and take them through a journey is also really, really fun. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a part of the experience of my solo show for sure. My journey's been wild, so I enjoy I enjoy sharing it and rolling some tunes into it.
And as far as like the musical portion of it, so it's going to be all you, right? So it's just you. I understand you're going to be doing some medleys and things like that of songs you've done in the past.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this new medley that I put together. It's a medley of Dream Theater songs. A lot of the big Dream Theater fans will remember the Instrumentally, which was something that we played. It was an all-instrumental medley of Dream Theater stuff and Liquid Tension. This one is completely new, designed for the piano, and it's a beast. I mean, it's intense, and I'm really proud of it. It hits on a lot of the classic kind of epic songs that we do and puts them together in an interesting way in a cool piano arrangement. Matter of fact, I have about 6 more shows here in Europe, and as soon as I get to the venues, my practice keyboard is set up and I go right to it because it's not easy, and it's going to be a real core of this show. I'm really excited to to bring it forward and to do that. But in addition to that, I'm going to be doing some stuff with some guitar stuff as well. I've been practicing for about a year, and I'm excited to play something on the guitar and kind of show people where I'm at with that and share that. As usual in my shows, I play some of my very favorite prog songs, rock songs, original and also cover songs. So that's a part of it. And then there's always a portion where I show some new technology as well. So in this show, I'm actually working with a company called Moises, Moises. They do amazing track separation. So I've got some very nice surprises that I'm going to be able to do in the show, little unexpected guest artists, if you will, through the magic of track separation.
Wow.
So so it's an evening of music and stories and technology, and it'll be really fun.
So you said a lot there that prompted other questions for me, which is very cool. So my first question, so how long did it take you to put together this kind of new instrument medley, the new one that you're working on? Is that something you've been kind of piecing together for, a while now?
Yeah, good question. So, we booked these shows. I was kind of like, okay, great. Now what am I going to play? It's like, I can sit at the piano and play all day, and I can play stuff you've never heard before, and I've never heard before all day too. But I was like, what is going to be the core, kind of the core of this. So I thought, it would be really cool. I think the fans would really love it if I played something like that, like a Dream Theater kind of like creation, So I reached out to one of my proteges who the Dream Theater community has heard of, Aaron Boschbu, who is the conductor on Breaking the Fourth Wall and the arranger. And I enlisted him to help me to put this together. So he got the ball started. We were throwing around ideas. He's notating it. He's sending it to me. I'm playing it. I'm sending it back. We're going back and forth. Pretty much still, even like probably today, we're going to go back and forth a little bit with how parts connect and all these kind of things. And what's really, really cool, I'm very pleased that out of this, I have a really nice transcription of this medley that I'm putting together for keyboard players or whoever is interested to check it out to have. So I enjoy the printed page, the music notation. I guess it's all as a study that I have a fondness for that. So it'll be cool to have that actually written really well.
Nice. So you mentioned that you might be throwing out some of your favorite prog tracks. I think most of us know you are a big fan of classic prog, right? So could we maybe expect some little Gentle Giant, little King Crimson, little Yes, and maybe some other surprises?
Always, yeah, definitely. My favorite groups are the ones you mentioned. Yes, Gentle Giant, King Crimson, Genesis, Pink Floyd. I have all these songs that I always play, and I since I've been working so hard on the medley, I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'll figure the details of that out later. But I'm going to go through and just pick out a nice selection of really cool ones that trigger those responses that all of us prog heads have when we hear certain melodies, and it's always fun.
There you go. People watching probably know me pretty well, and they're like, Pete uses any excuse to throw Gentle Giant out in the conversation, and I just did it once again. So
there you go.
So another really interesting thing you said, and I did read on the press sheet, is that you will be playing some guitar in this show. So that's pretty exciting. Could we maybe somewhere down the road expect to hear you and John Petrucci doing a little, dual harmony leads at some point on the Dream Theater show or record in the near future?
Yeah, John's been very, very nice about my guitar journey, but I don't think he's not that interested in it. Let's face it, John Petrucci doesn't need any help from me.
I know he doesn't, yeah.
His guitar sound is as big as this hotel I'm in. And, it's just, I don't really foresee that necessarily happening. And definitely and I have to say that my intent of playing the guitar had nothing to do with that particular kind of goal. Through the years, I dabbled on the guitar and would pick it up a few times a year and just kind of noodle. But then this last year, I was like, you know what? I can move my fingers. I know something about music. I should get better at the thing. Why not? And it's been awesome. I connected with the Strandberg people, and they make a very ergonomic, very light headless guitar, and I love it. And I just bring it everywhere with me. It's right next to me in the hotel room. So it's a perfect instrument to practice while you're doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's my own, passion, my own journey. And yeah, sure, I'm not going to hide it away. So that's why I think I'll play it in my solo shows. And the reality is probably when I do my next rock solo album, I'll be very well equipped to do some of my own guitar parts in a way that I've never been before. So that'll be really cool. But again, to the Dream Theater thing, I don't see that. I'm not going to push that. John Petrucci is a guitarist in Dream Theater. What the hell am I going to do?
Yeah, he's one of the best in the world, right? Yeah, I get it.
Come on.
I figured I'd ask, because it'd be kind of fun seeing you guys.
But I just want to put it out there that ain't happening.
So, what's really cool about this tour, and I think, we're starting to see more of these things. Like, recently Bruce Dickinson did this short tour where he's up there telling stories and things like that. And I just want, what do you think? Are we going to start seeing more of this from a lot of, you musicians and some of these notable bands going forward? Because I would think so many of you have so many great stories to tell, whether it be about stories on the road, stories in the studio, stories, or, things about gear and stuff like that. Do you anticipate that we might see more of this? Because people are going out to see shows like, your tour coming up, and from other notable folks out there in the rock world. You think that this might be a trend that we'll start to see quite a bit more in the coming years?
You know, it's interesting. I think as far as doing like solo musicians doing solo shows, not everybody is equipped to do that. You know, like what instrument do they play? What can they do by themselves? I mean, I kind of am in a place where, you know, being a pianist, and pianists play full songs with harmony and melody and the whole thing, because just due to the nature of my instrument and who I am, playing a solo concert is part of what I do. But there's a lot of amazingly talented people out there that just don't do that. You know, like it would be hard. You know, you take a bass player, I don't know, pick whatever name, or a guitar player, or who, you know, who knows how they can do a solo concert. Maybe of course with a band, but you're talking about like an intimate evening with kind of like what Rick Wakeman did, or kind of like what I'm doing. Yeah. That type. It takes a certain kind of musician to even be able to do a solo concert. So you know, unless they bring in a band, and then to have it be intimate and tell stories, it also takes a certain kind of a personality to, you know, be interested to share, to be interesting enough that when you're sharing, it's actually engaging for the audience.
Right, because you got to have at least an hour, 90 minutes, right, worth of things to talk about, right? So, or to play.
My show is not that much talking. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's half and half, but I will talk like in between songs, and, you know, maybe introduce it and say, okay, when I was 18, you know, I heard Tarkus and it blew my mind and opened up this whole new thing and blah, 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 and then play. So it's not like a whole lot of, you know, just blah, 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 blah. It's about the music, but I like to, you know, allow people to, you know, get a little closer to me and my story, and, you know, and enjoy that part of it as well. I think it's a perfect kind of venue for that type of experience.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a fun night. So let's talk a little bit about Dream Theater. So you guys have been, you know, on the tour for quite a bit. I saw you back in, when was that? Last fall, I guess. Or was it? I'm losing track of time, in New Jersey. Great show as always. I've caught you guys basically on every tour since Images and Words. So how did the tour go overall? And were you guys pleased with all the dates and how the set went and all that?
Well, it's been the set is amazing, and people we feel very like confident and kind of energized about what we're doing musically, creatively on stage, with all the lights and the video and the way the set's organized. So I don't think we've ever necessarily put on a better, tighter kind of show. And you know, one of the amazing things about being in Dream Theater and this business is that we get to experience as audiences all around the world, every country, every city, and they all have an energy about them, a collective energy. And it's amazing because you could play, you know, one night you play in Berlin, the next night we play in Krakow. And you compare everybody, you know, these people come to the show, they love Dream Theater, there's no doubt. Our fans are dedicated, they're passionate, they're into the music. But the response that we get and what we feel from the crowd is often very different. And let's just say that it's all really great, but sometimes you go, oh my God, that crowd was amazing. And then sometimes you go and say, well, you know, they really enjoyed it. You know, it's great to see. So that's fascinating. And then of course you start thinking about the people and where we are in the world, what part of the world, what influences that might be contributing to the energy that they have about giving back to us. You know what I mean? So, I mean, honestly, a great example was when we just played in Poland. I felt like these people love this music so much. I could totally tell. By the end, they were on their feet, they were clapping. But before that, I felt like, wow, like they've been going through a lot here. This is deep. Like, you know, every Polish friend that I have for the last, you know, couple months has mostly they've been helping the refugees, like bringing people into their and helping causes, and that's got to be affecting the way they feel. And I just think that they were really happy to get out and see a show, and it was, you know, kind of still kind of reeling from all that. But in general, the tour's been great. You know, knock on wood, everybody's been you know, healthy and being very careful as well. And it's been great to get out there and play. It's always exciting. Yeah, it's a workout, and you know, it's going for it. 2 hours. Banging on them keys, it's a thing.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the set list on this tour, and I've often called Dream Theater one of the great deep cut bands in all of music. And what's really interesting about you guys is that you have this giant catalog of music, and you're not a radio band, obviously, other than, Pull Me Under. And every tour since the beginning, you guys have dusted out basically almost all the songs in your repertoire at some point in time. So I think fans have gotten used to, we're going to hear deep cuts and nothing but deep cuts almost on every tour, to the point where now any song in the catalog is ripe for the picking, and you can expect anything, and it's more than welcome in the set list. And I think that's something really cool. And you don't see that. As someone who goes to a lot of shows with a lot of bands who play the same songs year after year after year, it's always refreshing to know that, you know what, a Dream Theater tour is coming up. I know I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, and I really look forward to it. And then when the show is over, you're like, you know what? That was great. I didn't expect those couple of songs, but man, they all fit well together. I mean, my brother and I said that after this tour at the New Jersey show, and it was just so refreshing. And I find that I say that every time I see you guys, and I've seen you guys 20 something times, and it's always a nice surprise.
Well, let's hope we can keep that going for a while. That's the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great to hear that. I mean, we're very conscious of the set list and the way it flows and the way it looks and the experience. It's not, we're not a band that just goes out and plays, some music or whatever. It's every aspect of it is very strongly considered. What songs we're all comfortable playing, what fits into the set, what has a nice energy arc to it, things like that. So yeah, I'm glad to hear. It's always good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see Count of Tuscany back in the set. I mean, that was pretty cool, and then a lot of others. I mean, it's really weird, to go see a band that plays a 2-hour set, and you only get like maybe 7-8 songs, but it's like, but the 7-8 songs are so good, it doesn't matter, right? It takes you through the whole evening, and that's pretty cool.
We always laugh. I laugh myself when we're doing the show, and we get to the point where we're playing Ministry of Lost Souls, and we've already played most of the songs in the set, and then we still have an hour to go.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only 3 songs, but it's an hour. We're like, you get the encore, and it's like, okay, well, there's only one more epic to play,
Not how many songs we can cram into the hour, right? But we got the one to go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So it was well documented on this tour that the New York show, Mike Portnoy showed up, and I had Mike here on the channel not too long ago, and he was talking about what a cool moment that was for him to see the band live for the first time since he left, and then to go backstage and hang out with all of you guys. How was it for you?
Well, Mike and I have been friends.
Sure.
Always. Never really interrupted that. I mean, it was definitely a rough period, but that's obvious. But no, it was great. Great to know that he came. It was really, it's brave of him. It's just, I'm sure it took some, I don't know what the word is, some courage or whatever to put himself in that position. Because it's a little awkward, especially because there was some, different guys, that's different situations going on, different relationships. So he was, he was like, I'm going. So I think it's awesome that he did that. And it meant a lot. It meant a lot to everybody. It meant a lot to all of us. And it also managed to kind of, smooth out some of the relationships, as everybody knows, seen everything online. But no, it's great to see him, and I'm so glad he came. And it must be cool to go see a Dream Theater show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really interesting because he and I were texting like the day before, and I was asking him about coming on the show here for something very specific. And I asked him, I said, if you're talking to John at all, I'd love to have the both of you on for that specific show. And he's like, he goes, I'll check. He goes, I'm actually going to see him tonight. And then I was like, tonight? Oh, you're going to the show, and then the next day it's all over the internet. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty neat. So yeah. So you guys, I'm assuming, because that's the way it always works, you're going to do your little solo tour here. You guys will take some time, and then eventually, I guess the wheels will be in motion for another album. Do you have like a timeline for that you're working on?
We're doing a Japanese festival, for a little South American thing coming up as well. And when is that? I don't remember these things. September. And then I think there'll be some more Dream Theater touring after that. We're not, we're just catching up with our touring life. I mean, we've covered a lot. Definitely more to cover, so we'll see about that. I don't know what's going to happen with like Japan and Australia, and I mean, we're going to do the Japanese festival, but I don't know. There's more to do. And then when that finally wraps up, then of course we'll go in and start writing some new music, but we don't really have a date for that or anything yet. So I mean, there's a lot going on. Definitely, it's nonstop.
I can imagine. And my kind of last question, well, next to last question here is that you are always very involved in all sorts of different projects. I mean, I see you pop up on albums, play a solo on this album from this artist or band or whatever. Have there been lots of requests for you to make appearances? And is there anything that you're kind of tied to at this point in time that we can expect?
Let's see. I just played, I don't know if you are aware of Mr. Fastfinger. Mika Tiska, actually the person who did the animations for us years ago, the cartoons. He's an incredible guitar player. The latest solo I did was his album. So, but I don't know when he's releasing that, but I played a solo on Charlie Griffith's album, Haken, which I think came out recently.
Yep.
What else? I mean, there's always little things. I've been actually saying no to a lot of things just because I've been on the road and really busy and trying to learn this Dream Theater medley that I wrote. So, can't think of anything else at the moment. I've been trying to put some of that stuff on hold for a little while.
You have to prioritize. Yeah, I know. I hear you.
The past couple of months, whatever, have been also very intense as far as the technology side of my life, because I have this whole side of what I do, that I release apps, and we put out an application for iOS called Sample Wiz 2, which was a follow-up to my original Sample Wiz for iOS. So it's like the ultimate sampling instrument to have in your pocket if you've got an iPhone or an iOS device. We did that, and then at NAMM, I'm actually going to NAMM directly after this tour. So I do the last show in Istanbul, Turkey, and then next day I fly out to Anaheim, California to do the NAMM show, and we're premiering a new instrument that I've been involved in creating, which is called the pocket piano, which is it's awesome. It's an instrument. You might have seen me do something with the original one online. It's this piano that has pieces that can attach, so you can have it be up to in an 87 note keyboard, or you can just play it as a couple octaves, whatever you want. It fits in your backpack. So we're going to be showing it at NAMM, and I'm really excited because I did a partnership with my buddy who runs this company called Synthagy, and we have their piano sound inside of the unit, which sounds just ready to go. Take it out of your bag, put it together. It sounds like piano is beautiful, amazing. So doing that, and also one of the really fun things I'm doing is not with music. It's with visual technology. I became an ambassador for a company called Light Tricks, and if anybody out there has seen my various Instagram posts and Facebook posts and all the trippy cool things that are happening visually, most of that is created with their software. So that's been really, really fun. And then also at NAMM, I'm working with a company called Moises that does this amazing track separation. So all the musicians out there, if you have a favorite song and you want to hear the drums alone, or you want to hear the vocals alone, all you need to do is load up the audio file, the stereo audio file. The Moises process takes it apart.
Wow.
And you go so far as vocals, drums, bass, strings, and piano and guitar, and it literally separates out all the tracks. So I've been really pleased to do some work with them as well. And at NAMM, I'll be showing some of the cool things you can do. There'll be some unexpected collaborations with with that software, and also that relates to my solo shows, because of the solo shows I'm going to bust out that and have some surprises as well.
Wow, that's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, that's my story. At least what I can.
That's pretty exciting stuff. So make sure you go, if you're going to NAMM, go stop by. Jordan's going to be there talking more and showing more about this really exciting new technology. And I figure, let's see. So I want to direct people to where the tour dates are. So it's www.jordanrudess.com/tours. And there you can see all the I'm going to name all the states. So if you're watching this show and you're in Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Minnesota, Illinois, Ohio, Virginia, DC, Maryland, New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, North Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida, which is the last show, go check out the tour dates and go check out Jordan on this upcoming An Evening with Jordan Rudess. And Jordan, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us today. This was a great little chat, and lots of exciting things happening in your world.
Thanks, man. Your support. Good to see you. And yeah, come out and see the shows. And it's going to be a good time.
There you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. For Jordan Rudess, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good day, everybody. See you real soon. Bye-bye.